When wild boars multiply, entire farms can vanish overnight. That's why we set out, armed and ready, knowing we'd face herds larger than ever before. From sudden ambushes to a final clash with a giant scar beast, this hunt pushed us past every limit. The hunt began long before the first shot. Farmers across the valley had been calling us with the same complaint. Fences destroyed, irrigation lines ripped apart, crops eaten in a single night. Every report ended the same way: wild boars. Their numbers had surged beyond control, and each week the damage was worse. A single sow can give birth twice a year, often with more than 10 piglets. Multiply that across herds, and the math explains why fields were being wiped out overnight. This wasn't just an inconvenience anymore, it was a crisis. Today wasn't about sport. Today was about balance, and that meant heading into the field with rifles, dogs, and enough resolve to push until nightfall. We moved out as a team. Leon, Victor, and Marcus flanked left and right, while I stayed central with the dogs. Our first ground was a wooded patch behind one of the farms. The undergrowth was thick, the kind that muffles sound but snaps open when disturbed. Within minutes, the dogs stiffened, noses down, then broke into urgent barking. Something was close. The brush parted, and a black shape surged out, first pig of the day. It came fast, tusk forward, head low. Marcus reacted instantly, raising his rifle and firing. The shot connected but didn't stop the charge. Leon followed with a second round, dropping the animal mid-run. The hunt had barely begun, and already adrenaline was high. We didn't linger. Boars travel in groups, and where there's more are nearby. The dogs picked up another trail, and we shifted uphill to an old watch stand. From the higher ground, the view stretched across the valley edge. The silence broke in seconds. A dark wave appeared from the forest below, more than 20 pigs moving together. The earth shook with their weight. We lined up, rifles ready, and opened fire. The first rounds dropped 3, but the herd scattered in panic, crashing through branches and tearing downhill. Dogs pursued, barking furiously, and shots followed in rhythm. One boar veered close to the stand, so near I could see its eyes. I dropped down, steadied my rifle, and hit it square between the shoulders. It fell instantly. Around us, chaos sounded like war dogs, rifles, and the crashing of dozens of bodies. By mid-morning, we had taken down close to 10. Each encounter was different, some charges straight on, some evasive. We regrouped at the clearing, caught our breath, and loaded fresh magazines. The drone operator above radioed in with fresh intel. Another group forming at the edge of the west slope. We cut across, moving fast but cautious. The terrain was rough, rocks sliding under boots, but the dogs led without hesitation. Soon enough, the forest erupted again. A sow burst from cover, massive in size, and came directly at us. My shot hit, but didn't stop her. Victor's round struck next, and the animal toppled in a spray of dust. No time to rest. The undergrowth kept moving. More shapes followed. We fired in unison, dropping 2 more before the rest slipped away. The day wore on with no break in activity. Every valley, every ridge held more signs. Tracks fresh in the mud, broken fences, overturned soil. At one point, we stumbled into a herd bedded down in thick grass. The ambush turned into pure mayhem. Boars leapt up all at once, scattering in every direction. Leon shouted for the dogs, and they surged after the nearest runner. Victor fired twice, bringing one down, while Marcus hit another at close range. I swung left, squeezing off a shot at a fleeing pig and connected clean. Within minutes, 4 were on the ground. The rest vanished into cover, leaving only silence and churned dirt behind. By late afternoon, we had tallied more than 20 confirmed. The strain was showing sweat, dust, and the ache of constant movement. But the job wasn't done. A farmer from the next valley reported aggressive pigs attacking calves near his barn. That changed our route. We moved quickly toward the lower fields near the riverbed. The soil was wet, tracks deep and recent. The dogs picked up the scent and bolted ahead. Then, from the brush, a massive boar appeared, bigger than any we'd seen yet. Its tusks gleamed, hide scarred from years of survival. It stood its ground, grunting deep, eyes fixed. When it charged, the earth vibrated. I fired first, striking it in the chest, but it kept coming. Leon fired next, slowing it, and Victor's shot staggered it sideways. Still, the beast advanced. At less than 20 meters, Marcus landed the final round to the head. The boar collapsed with a crash that shook branches loose overhead. We stood over it, breathing heavy, knowing we'd just taken down a leader. Evening crept in, but the activity didn't stop. Another herd was spotted on drone just as the light began to fade. We adjusted, moving into position under the cover of dusk. Night hunts carry different risks. Pigs become bolder, and every mistake doubles the danger. We switched to night optics, tightened formation, and pressed on. Not 10 minutes later, 3 shapes appeared in green glow ahead. They hesitated, then bolted. I fired, dropping the first. Victor caught the second mid-run. The third almost vanished into darkness before Marcus' shot struck home. But the real chaos came when a larger group moved in around us. The sounds built from every direction, snapping twigs, grunts, the dogs barking like mad. Then the forest erupted. More than a dozen pigs broke cover, rushing the clearing from both sides. We formed a tight circle, rifles out. Shots thundered one after another. The air filled with dust, muzzle flashes, and the guttural cries of pigs. It felt endless, but finally the wave broke. 8 lay still, the rest scattered into the dark. The dogs pursued, but we called them back. It was enough. By the end of the night, we had counted more than 40 boars taken. Each encounter different, each one proof of how severe the invasion had become. Farmers could rest a little easier for now, but the battle was ongoing. These animals breed fast, move fast, and adapt even faster. We returned to camp exhausted, but with a sense of resolve. The dogs lay curled in the truck bed, too tired to lift their heads, but still alert to every sound. The rifles were blackened with smoke, our clothes streaked with mud. As we reviewed the footage, drone clips, ground shots, close encounters, we realized the scale of what we'd captured. Every charge, every moment of chaos, every hard-won victory was on record. For us, this isn't about numbers or trophies. It's about restoring balance, protecting the land, the crops, the livestock, and the people who live here. Wild boars are relentless, but so are we. And if you want to keep following this journey, bigger herds, closer encounters, and more action than ever, make sure to subscribe. Because this fight is far from over.